Hey guys, so today I am here to talk about the research project that we had to do for this week. And the paper that I wanted to look at and research was individuals in the Battle of Saratoga. Now, right up, the Battle of Saratoga, one of the most influential battles in the American Revolution. You've got the outcome of the entire war coming from it because now you have the French alliance that went and fought the British Navy, right? So you got the French Navy versus British Navy in Chesapeake Bay, while George Washington was laying siege to Yorktown, and the French won that fight, leading to the victory at Yorktown. But that wouldn't have happened if we didn't see this victory at Saratoga, which led to, of course, the French joining up with the Americans and helping the Americans. And what I wanted to look at a little bit closer, though, was not that victory, but instead the individuals within the Battle of Saratoga. So there was a few different people that kind of stood out in this battle. And when I looked at the battle, it was not specifically, oh, yes, Horatio Gates and John Burgoyne, great generals, right? They knew what they were doing, but I wanted to look at more specifics. So what happened before? What happened after? What were the relations between people? Was everyone an important part of the battle? And you find out that there's a lot of social conflicts within the ranks of both the Americans and the British. So you see General John Burgoyne, Howe, and Germain. There's a lot of conflict at the beginning of not following the plan that was supposed to happen with a three-pronged attack to Albany. And then in the American side, you see a little confusion between Schuyler and Horatio Gates. Nobody really knows who's in charge at first of the northern area, and it leads to the fall of Fort Ticonderoga, and then the eventual commander of Horatio Gates. But then you also see some heroics, some real good things coming out of the lead up to the battle, like Brigadier General John Stark, who was actually the guy in the Battle of Bennington. And that Battle of Bennington led to the troops that were part of Burgoyne's army not being a part of the Battle of Saratoga. And that has a big influence in the outcome of the battle, right? And it's because these individuals are having these conflicts. So like Stark, for example, he was fighting because he never got a promotion from the Battle of Bunker Hill. After this battle, he did. Looking at the battle specifically, I wanted to, of course, talk about, Horatio Gates and Arnold and their relation. I also looked at the Brigadier General on the British side who was shot. His name was Fraser, and how that kind of influenced British behavior and, when they were losing. How did they approach his death? And they gave him a big ceremony. And then there's the individual soldiers and officers. Some of them are recognized, some of them aren't, right? So I went through and I saw that, okay, what about colored units? There was a black man who was originally a slave. He was from Connecticut. He served in the Battle of Fort Ticonderoga, but unlike some of the others, he was not recognized as much, even though he lived to the age of 110. That was another thing that kind of came out of this, was a lot of these soldiers, they might be recognized as, oh yes, we participated, but not necessarily they were the most influential. And that's okay, right? It shows more of everyone had their part to play. Not everyone can be a hero in the battle, but people saw that being a part of it was important. And that's kind of the conclusion that I was able to come to, is that this battle with the individuals is important because every single person and their relations with somebody has some sort of role to play. So it was a really unique perspective to look at the Battle of Saratoga instead of the usual victory with the French alliance later on.